He wore the uniform of a hero, a symbol of sacrifice and honor. But when he walked into a hall one evening, he wasn't greeted with respect. Instead, two guards looked him over with suspicion, and then told him he didn't belong. In that moment, his years of service, his medals, his sacrifice, it all seemed invisible. What happened next didn't just shock the room. It forced everyone watching to face an uncomfortable truth. This is his story. Marcus had spent years serving his country as a proud Marine. He endured the grueling training, the deployments air far from home, the nights were filled with fear, responsibility, and silence. Through it all, he carried himself with quiet dignity. When he returned home, Marcus wanted nothing more than a peaceful life. So when he was invited to a public ceremony, an event meant to honor veterans, he accepted. Not for the recognition, but for belonging. He arrived early, not in uniform, but in simple clothes. He walked with the calm confidence of someone who had faced the unthinkable and survived. But the moment he stepped inside, he felt the stares. Some curious, some uneasy, as if he didn't belong in a place he had earned. Marcus ignored it. He took a seat near the back, content just to be part of the evening, but within minutes, his presence would be challenged. The program began. Speakers took the stage. Applause filled the air. Marcus sat quietly, reflecting on the faces of friends he had lost overseas. Then, he noticed movement. Two security guards entered the hall. Their eyes scanned the crowd, until they landed on him. They whispered, then walked toward his seat. Marcus straightened, unsure what to expect. One leaned down and with a cold voice said, "Sir, you'll need to leave. This event is for veterans and invited guests only." Marcus froze. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. The second guard added, "You don't belong here." The words hit harder than anything he faced in combat. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Some confused, others silent. Marcus sat still. Inside, a storm rose. He thought of the years he had given, the sacrifices he had made. And now, he was being erased. He stood slowly. Humiliation was heavy on his shoulders. The guards gestured toward the exit. Phones came out. The cameras rolled. With every step he took, the tension thickened. And then, Marcus stopped. He turned. Facing the crowd, his posture firm, his expression calm, but his presence commanded the room. Slowly, he reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small case, opened it, and there, rows of medals glinting under the lights. The room gasped. These weren't trinkets. They were proof of battles fought, of courage under fire, of survival against the odds. Marcus said nothing. He didn't need to. He simply held the medals high. The whispers died. The guards froze. And then, applause. Soft at first, then thunderous. The entire hall stood to its feet, not just applauding Marcus, but applauding the truth. The guards stepped back, exposed, powerless, and Marcus stood tall. A man who had been doubted, dismissed, humiliated, but had risen to show the respect he had always deserved. As the applause faded, silence returned. The guards lowered their heads. Their earlier arrogance was replaced with shame. Marcus closed the case, slipped it back into his pocket, and walked slowly to the exit, not defeated, but dignified. He hadn't needed to shout. He hadn't needed to fight. His truth had spoken louder than anything else. But Marcus knew this wasn't just about him. It was about a larger reality. That respect in this country too often comes with conditions. That recognition isn't given equally to all who serve. By the next day, the video spread across the internet. Debates erupted, outrage poured in, and for some, reflection finally began. Marcus had fought wars overseas, but back home, he faced another battle, not with weapons, but with prejudice, with assumptions, with silence. And that's why this story matters. Because Marcus's experience isn't rare. It's a mirror, a reflection of what so many face every single day. So here's the question: if even a Marine who risked everything for his country can be told he doesn't belong, what does that mean for the millions who face rejection without medals to prove their worth? This story may have ended with applause, but the fight for dignity, respect, and true equality, it's far from over. How many more times before we finally change?